This episode, we are discussing the rise of inflation and the fall of our show. As usual, nothing in this video is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. The NFT space is incredibly risky, so always do your own research. And as always, if you enjoy the content and you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. It really helps us out. And as always, shout out to our sponsor, FTX. Sign up at thenifty.com/FTX or with the code THENIFTY on your FTX mobile app. Gentlemen, we've got the simulcast going. We got the YouTube show going, Twitter Spaces.
Should you pin that to the
Oh, yeah, we're pinning
Twitter
it, man.
so people
all that
can
stuff.
see it?
Oh, you already know, dude. But I got to get through the intro first, and I can't pin things while I'm doing an intro and an ad read.
I see.
Yeah, that's how it works, Nick. But gentlemen, we got the rise of inflation to talk about, and then the fall of our show, the inevitable fall. Today will be the last episode, and we will no longer be on speaking terms. Just kidding, of course. What do you guys think about today's inflation report?
It wasn't great.
Okay.
It sounds like we both had polar opposite takes there. I would say, I mean, it wasn't great, but we just had a bad wick right out the gate, and we've recovered basically 100% of this morning's losses, and we're back. So, yeah, I'd say, overall, it's not. Look, we've been hearing that there's bad inflation, and so that's where we just keep hearing it over and over again. Oh my God, inflation's so bad. Inflation's awful. The economy is going to crap. And that's something that is valid. I just don't know if we got any information that was like shocking, which is really what will upset the market at this moment in time. But I think it recovered back primarily because people are just like, yeah, no, we get it. We get it. We got inflation. Inflation's coming. The biggest readout was that gas, the oil that goes into the gas is up something like 96% month over month.
The oil that goes into the gas.
That so I don't know if you understand how this
analysis
works, but
right there. You're like, not the gas, the oil that goes into. Yeah, okay, wow, that was impressive, Nick. Wow.
What do you think I'm saying? That's literally what the subject. That's what it is. Sorry, how would you articulate that, Pio? And then let's move on.
I mean, look, if you want to talk about a simple way to describe it, the oil that goes into the gas is a pretty good way. No, look, I'm just giving you a hard time. You don't hear that every day on CNBC. They aren't saying the oil that goes into the gas. I'm just saying.
Well, this ain't CNBC.
This is clearly not CNBC.
We already said this is about the fall of our show, so it's already in the midst of imploding live here on air.
Yeah, and so look, a couple things. First of all, people have been talking about inflation so much because it's so bad, and the Federal Reserve, who are effectively in charge of controlling inflation, I think it's kind of fair to describe it like that. They printed more money in an 18-month period than had been printed in the previous 100-year period. Or, that statistic might be slightly off in terms of how many years, but it's an outrageous statistic like that, right? And then the whole time that they were being questioned on that, oh, and by the way, they incentivized people to not actually have to work. They were making more money being on unemployment, right? And so then when they were questioned about that, about whether that was a good idea, what impact something like that was going to have on inflation, then their response was that inflation is transitory. And that was, the kind of Bitcoiner meme that came. Now it's not looking like inflation is too transitory. And our very own Spencer on the morning show brought up well, it's kind of looking like even though they're going to continue with rate hikes, they're going to continue raising interest rates. It's actually not going to have a material effect on inflation. And we might be in a spot that's like, well, now what? Well, the narrative that the Bitcoiners are running with at this point, that I think I'm basically in this camp, is that because of the action by the government and the Fed, we're at a point here in the United States where we may just have to get used to a different standard of living. We might have to just make an adjustment to our standard of living, and the prices on our goods and services like gasoline, like groceries, like, insert good or service here, will just be more expensive. and you'll see a continued exacerbation of the wealth gap because they can only do so much quantitative tightening before they're going to have to pivot. And the people that are asset owners will reap the benefits. I mean, fortunately, all three people on this show right now are asset owners. And then the people that don't own assets, that have, lower paying jobs that live paycheck to paycheck, are going to be basically picking up the tab on this whole thing. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you guys have different, like you guys have a rosier outlook on this, but that's kind of, when I listen to economists talk about it, when I listen to the Bitcoin community talk about it, that's the way it's kind of feeling to me.
Makes me want to exacerbate.
Yeah, I mean, I think in that scenario, if it got to that kind of situation, I think that you'd probably start to see UBI come into the equation.
Universal basic income.
Yeah, because like if inflation's like persistent, then you have to support the bottom of the market. You know what I mean? To keep like a healthy economy going. So you can maybe see a scenario like that. But in terms of inflation, I don't give a shit what the inflation was in June. Okay. Markets are forward looking. I'm forward looking. Okay. Gas used to be $5 here. Okay, just drove by 7-Eleven. It's $4.43. That's down 60%. Okay,
really?
That's not 60%.
Well, let me finish my statement.
That's not even close.
I didn't interrupt either of you. Went into the grocery store. Everything's getting marked down. I picked up some Nature's Promise uncured thick cut bacon for $5.99. Steal.
What?
Absolute steal. It was labeled at $9.99. I mean, I'm seeing, stuff getting cut across the board. So I'm thinking, I got to be forward looking.
Well, we did see that with mortgages, right? Like the mortgage rate peaked and then it started coming down because people were like, well, fuck it, we're not getting mortgages. So like they're selling a product with a mortgage, right? So they've run into similar things. I like this analysis that you're providing, and the forward looking is exactly what I was thinking, and it's also why I was like, why don't we go long here? And it turns out I was right. I made probably the worst trade today that I could have done. I bought high, sold low, and then it went up higher. So I lost $350 instead of making thousands of dollars. Yeah, so that was pretty stupid.
There's a lot to what Kix was saying. I couldn't tell if he was saying it tongue in cheek or not.
No, legitimately. He tweeted about it and then he used his words out of his mouth just now.
Okay, I get it, Nick. The thing I wanted to point out is, like when you're looking at inflation, you actually do want to look at how much you're paying for those goods and services. $5 to $4.60 is not a 60% decrease, but everything else you said, I think that there's some validity to it. I mean, look, I've been dollar cost averaging. When that red candle came in, I bought like $800 worth of Ethereum. I buy Bitcoin. I buy $3 of Bitcoin an hour with Strike because it allows you to do that automatically. And then I buy another $100 of Bitcoin a week with Swan Bitcoin. And then I nibble, manually whenever I feel like I want to deploy an extra few $100, over like a 48-hour period. That those numbers start to add up over time. It's not a swing trade; it's a land grab, Nick. But yeah, I mean, I guess Nick, how are you
grabbing every hour? I've never literally heard of hourly dollar cost averaging. That's some of the most ludicrous shit I've ever heard of.
I was like, how funny would it be if he like logged in after a year of doing this and like the fee per trade was like $2 and he's been buying like $3 worth of Bitcoin every hour.
So Strike has $0 in fees. That's why
it disclosed the fact that you may end up. There should be a disclosure there that you may be an investor in it.
Someone get a meme of Pio with the money printer, just $3 of Bitcoin per hour, just into the market, dude, just every hour. You need to know, if you're ever scared about the market, just know $3 from Pio's coming in to support that floor price every hour, dude. He's consistent, dude.
It's true though. Yeah, no, Jack Mahler's from Strike. He believes in the Robinhood race to the bottom theory when it comes to fees on exchanges. Just like Robinhood revolutionized the TradFi.
Why are you doing it every hour though? I don't understand. Like,
because man, I want to be touching it. I always want to be. I want to be touching you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey, look. Like, it's not about that big knockout.
What are you doing?
Punch.
You're punching the Bitcoin.
Well,
Exactly.
imagine Pio has like a tough meeting and it's an hour long and he just gets out of it. He's like, at least I fucking bought $3 of Bitcoin. Like, let's go, dude. Let's go, dude. 3 more in the bank, land grab. Let's get this shit.
We're grabbing the land. It's not about the big haymaker. It's about just touching your opponent, just touching them,
Wear 'em
just
down.
touching them, wearing them down.
$26,000 a year that you're putting into Bitcoin just on that system.
Just on exactly, just one platform, and your boy's on multiple platforms because you got to be.
So he's really probably putting at least like $6, $7 in per hour if he's on multiple platforms.
This is post-tax money. He's buying $26,000 a year.
He's a believer, dude.
I know it's not enough. I know. No, I know what you mean. I know. I'm concerned too that it's not enough.
In the future, when he invites us to his island parties with other Bitcoin maxis, we'll remember this moment when I'm like, damn, we should have been putting in $3 an hour.
But like I said, I did buy ETH today too. A little bit. $800.
A little touchy.
Yeah. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that to summarize the inflation talk, a lot of this stuff is kind of priced in. Like I read today on Twitter that they're predicting an 80% chance that the next Fed hike in whenever is going to be 100 bips. So, and the market's not like crashing on that expectation. So like the market is literally already priced in inflation being this high and has priced in the Fed potentially having a high likelihood of going up to 100 in the next cycle. So, I mean, that's pretty significant that it's like holding at these levels. I mean, who knows? There definitely can be way more downward pressure. I'm betting a little bit that we get, a potential swing up if it's not the bottom, or the potential that it is the bottom. So I'm definitely like net long here, which was very painful yesterday, a little less painful today. On the Twitter morning spaces, when everyone was talking about the doom and gloom of the inflation report, I was like, perfect. I'm going to long it. Made $1,500 after this, going to the butcher, get a nice steak, and getting some chicken wings for the rest of the family.
So you're going to eat the steak and the rest of the family eats the wings?
I don't make the rules.
He's like, I'm going to inflate my stomach.
Gains.
That's a dope trade. So ladies and gentlemen, during the duration of our morning show from 9 a.m. Eastern to 10:30 a.m. Eastern on Twitter, Kix entered and exited a trade and bagged $1,500. You can be like him someday, kids.
1 hour, just a little 1 hour in and out, 1,500 in the back pocket.
There's some feedback coming back on audio.
Man. Yeah, I put my phone like a mile away and I can still hear it. I'll be right back.
Is that from your phone?
I'm sure it's from his phone. Anyway, so closing thoughts. Technical Nick. Nick's famous for his TA. He's famous for not liking it when I ask him to make any sort of longer term price prediction. And I understand that. I've learned to not do that. Do you have any closing thoughts on the state of affairs with inflation? Like Keyboard Monkey, for example, has repeatedly declared that he's bearish. I don't know. Are you in that camp? What's the story?
This is 15 minutes, so please, sorry, you just caught me naked here.
So for people that are just listening on Twitter and not watching on YouTube, we're diving into some technical analysis with Nick. Nick's walking us through one of the charts that he trades off of. He is a brilliant trader. He's trading multi-million-dollar swings.
I've lost a lot of money in recent weeks thinking that I'm a genius by switching my strategy over to the 15-minute candles.
This guy buys like the 10x leverage long positions, on the 5-minute wicks.
So basically, we had broken down. We had tested above. We're coming back from, frankly, only 5 days ago, we were testing the 1250 level, trying to break out above it. Couldn't manage to do it. That's where we were aiming. And then like a magnet, it went straight down to the other support level I'd been watching, which is 1195. Bounced off it, back to 1250. This is like straight ping pong. And then we broke below on July 9th. What a day that was. July 9th, ever since then, the price has gone down and been attracted to our next level, 1020, like a damn magnet. And this morning, we hadn't hit it yet. And then this morning on the inflation news, everyone was like, we don't know what to do. We'll just sell. And literally the price, it went down pretty low. It got down to almost 1,000. It hit 1,005, which is pretty good. But bounced up and the wick stayed above 1020, the support, the support level that I've been watching on an ongoing basis, which has been relatively strong. We only dipped below it for basically a day. And that's when we hit the low, and we've been waiting to go back towards that level. What's not clear to me right now is we have Maren, the majestical.
Should I play up? Can I pull? I'm going to pull up our video.
That's not a really good sound effect, I'm going to be honest.
It was just trying to do the Halo thing.
So which video are we referencing by Maren?
You definitely were one of those kids in the chorus in fucking elementary school, weren't you? Ooh, let's go, dude.
Nick is harmonizing. Wow. That's impressive, Nick. You got the body of, you got the voice of a goddess, man.
He's got all these hidden talents you just find out about.
You find out about him. All right, so we're gonna pull up this. We're gonna stream this video by Maren real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna stop.
I'm impressed by Nick. If you're just listening on Twitter Spaces, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube. I got a pin to the top. All right, here we go.
Crypto market did rebound a bit
with her
recently.
nose.
All right, dude, are you gonna let me play it? Here we go.
The crypto market did rebound a bit recently, but it's nothing crazy. But given that we have a full moon on the 13th, and the full moon is a pretty difficult alignment, I am expecting a correction as we lead into it. Full moons are generally pivots down where we dump into them and then pump out of them. They're local bottoms within a range. So even as you can see here, the momentum wave is dying down. And as we head into the 13th, I'm expecting a dump into and then pump out of it. This is a full moon in Capricorn, and the moon already has trouble in Capricorn, let alone conjunct Pluto, which is a planet of intensity and usually conflict. So on a geopolitical level, I've already spoken about this looking pretty difficult, but I am expecting a pump coming out of this full moon. This full moon is near Bitcoin's Jupiter, which is bullish, and it has Mars trying Bitcoin's Mars, which I really like to see. So even though a pretty strong correction into the 13th is likely, I also think that there's a pretty strong recovery following.
I mean she nailed it.
Damn, that.
How do you nail it like that?
That was the most
insane.
ridiculous clip. It went from like literally some basic moons to like all over the place, and I'm just like, geopolitically, what I'm expecting is Putin to end up with Ukraine to come to the table and for them to make a peace agreement.
Well, I'll tell you what, okay?
She's done very well. I'm gonna be honest. She did hit it.
One of the first books I ever bought on investing was Jim Cramer's book on investing. A week ago, I literally burnt that at a shrine of Maren, and ever since then, I haven't lost money. I've just hit every trade out of the ballpark. Also have her unfollow all notifications on Twitter. Highly recommended. But yeah, you got to trust in Maren. It's going to be choppy. It's going to be volatile, right? But a lot of this bad news is baked in. Some sort of relief rally doesn't seem out of the question, really mess with everybody, then, potentially taking this back down. But I personally think we're in an earnings seasons, people a little bit worried. But I think some of these earnings are going to be okay. Some of them are going to be awful, but some of these earnings are going to be okay. The airlines are squeaking out profits like it's nothing. You know what I mean? Those fucking bums can do it. I'm pretty sure a lot of other companies out there can.
That's because it's a travel bull run post-pandemic. Everybody decided that
American Airlines made money, dude, and your company can't? That's pathetic, dude. That's absolutely pathetic.
Yeah, what's up with your NFT project?
Yeah, one of the worst airlines of all time. If they can make money, you should be able to make money out there. That's just straight facts. That's straight putting it on wax. I have a question for both of you guys. Right now, do you think NFTs are overvalued or undervalued in the aggregate?
Well, I posted some data about how the price has capitulated basically 80 to 90% on average. And so it's low. Could it go lower? Yeah, I think it could. I mean, I was already expecting it to go lower. But yeah.
Think about it like this. A floorboard ape right now is 105,000 US dollars. Let's say we have...
I bought mine for 1,500.
Let's say we have a ton of macro turmoil, like another heinous move to the downside. I could see a Bored Ape being at $60,000. And no, but just think about it like this. In what universe is a $60,000 dollar Bored Ape not necessarily fair value? Like, I know, look, we're all in the NFT space. I'm incredibly bullish on NFTs. I think Bored Ape is like the grail NFT in the ecosystem. But when you talk about a single Bored Ape out of 10,000 costing $60,000, and you kind of do the math on the market cap, you do the math on the other assets in the ecosystem, the dogs, the mutants, the codas, the land, the everything, right? Is it that outrageous to have a Bored Ape cost $60,000? That's the thing. The flip side, the counter argument is that digital collectibles are way better than physical collectibles, just like digital, institution grade safe haven assets like Bitcoin are way better than the physical like gold. And I am a subscriber to that belief. Look, this is the most challenging, brutal game to play. It's incredibly hard to say whether these things are fair value. I like the fact that we just corrected by 80%. I think that on an isolated basis, depending on supply, there's definitely value in NFTs. Let's put it this way. I would buy a CryptoPunk before a Bored Ape right now without question. That's for sure.
I like that.
You guys have any thoughts?
Well, I just wanted to acknowledge Micah, who said that I'm also a user of astrology when I pull my price targets right out of Uranus. And
got you on that one. You're gonna have to put some aloe vera on that burn.
That was pretty good. Yeah, I think look, I don't know the bottom for this. That was an interesting question. Like, are NFTs overvalued?
Like,
we're
are
undervalued.
they overvalued still? Are they still overvalued?
Deep breath.
No.
Line your chakras.
No. 105,000 is fair value for an ape, or is it undervalued?
Well, right now it appears to be fair value. So the price that exists today is the correct
Oh, shut
price.
up, Nick.
Because the market is perfectly efficient.
I mean, sure.
So nailed it. But in terms of where it's going, could we see additional potential downside? Yes.
Yeah, of course you could.
Yeah, there's a strong potential of that.
Of course you could.
Are people talking about me being tan?
Yes.
I can't even.
Yeah,
or
Kix is tan.
Or is that Kix? Kix has like a sunburn.
Kix is tan. He's looking
a
good.
Glow. I have a glow to me. Okay, I do great work in the sauna.
But me and Nick have been working out in the morning. Nick, show him your bicep, dude. You're looking
No,
yoked.
okay, we're good.
No, flex.
No, we're good.
Do it.
It's not necessary for me to flex my gigantic muscles.
Oh,
my
look
God.
at that bicep. Dude,
Oh my God, it's not
I'm not even going to lie. I didn't know that Nick, was yoked like that, because I totally mailed it in on him. I was like, the guy doesn't know about sports. There's no way he's out here working out. But we're in there bench pressing, and he's getting gains. He's blowing up. He's literally just getting swole.
Stacking.
Are you natty, Nick? Are you natural, or you taking something? You doing TRT or anything like that?
He's
What
doing
do you
that
got going?
test for sure. Dude.
Back in the
He's doing
day,
that
I used to
test.
take creatine.
Okay.
But
That's
I haven't
normal.
taken that in a long time.
It's like that's street legal.
Yeah, that's street legal, but
It's like
I
water
kind of
weight.
feel like you're taking a little bit more. Wink, wink. I feel like you got a little something going on.
Yeah,
Yo,
you probably bought one of the testosterone pills that are on like the TV commercials. It's probably just mainlining.
Yo,
those.
for those that are listening on the Twitter space and not watching on the YouTube, I just pulled out my biceps, and a lot of people
You had to unsheath them.
The screen shattered.
Yeah. I mean, like the bicep basically started strangling me through the video camera.
Okay.
But like, look, hey, real quick before we move on, like just between you and me, Nick, no one else is here. Like, come on, let me know. What are you taking? Come on.
There's literally nothing. Okay, look.
Who's your guy?
Look, God didn't bless me with height, so they,
He blessed you with girth.
Okay, that sounds really inappropriate. We're gonna move on from this conversation. Let's proceed forward, okay?
I'll hit a little deflection.
Now
he's muted and it cut out. Wow,
now
this
Nick's
just
stuck
got
with me one-on-one.
Holy shit! I just want to apologize to everyone that's listening right now.
What percentage of people in NFTs do you think are in the tech industry?
Tech versus finance versus art versus video games.
Which percentage of what?
Well, because I was just thinking, what like percentage of like NFT wealth is highly correlated to like the tech industry?
I think it's high correlation as a whole. That said, there's multiple
Different groups for sure.
there's multiple groups. You got artists that have made money here.
I guess I was wondering more so, if like tech companies are going to kind of be tighter with their budgets, they may not be doling out as much in salaries or bonuses or new hiring. If that's high, like that's one bearish thing I can see. If there's like less wealth in the tech industry, is there therefore less buying pressure in the NFT industry? But I still think that, from what I've heard from my boy Pio, who's deeply ingrained in the recruiting game, tech recruiting's still strong out there. So
we haven't talked about this at all. I've given you zero updates on that, and I'm not deeply ingrained.
Yeah, because you haven't been involved with it for a while. But if you want, but that's never stopped us from commenting on anything. So Pio, go ahead. Tell us about the current state of recruiting.
The last shit that I heard was that Gemini laid people off. Coinbase extended offers, written offers to people, then said, don't worry, your offers are safe. Then said, actually, on second thought, your offer is not safe. Here's 2 months severance, even though you never worked for us yet. And
that's a great deal.
Robinhood also laid people off. So I can't say that it's strong, but what I will say is it's definitely the strongest sector of employment is software engineers, without question. Like,
then I think we're good. Then I think the bottom's in.
I don't. If the bottom's in, then your boy's got his $3 an hour coming in on Bitcoin, and I'm going to be good to go. But I don't know.
Coming in hot. Yeah, so, I think that the blue chips, for the most part, are potentially fairly valued.
Hey Pio, can you pull up a blue chip?
But I think that maybe some of the blue chips may be mispriced relative to others. So there may be some hidden opportunity in there. Then I also think that there has to be a couple mid-chip projects.
We lost you again. What are you doing? What happened? Did the
What
camera
just
fall?
happened? The camera just fell off.
Man, this guy I'm taking a screenshot of this shit. This guy revolutionizes being bad at video and audio hardware.
Where's his mic?
Oh my God.
We haven't even seen him. What happened?
What happened? Are you okay? I kind of feel bad making jokes. I feel like he might not be okay. What is going on?
Is your mic there? Is your mic there?
What just happened?
What just happened? He just put his hand up and said thumbs up, but we haven't heard from him since.
Did he fall out of the chair?
Hold on, we hear him. He was there.
Am I good?
Yeah,
hey, what's up, guys?
I'm fine. What is going on?
I'm doing okay over here.
Okay.
We're good. Let's just keep rolling.
Did you fall out of your chair and then your feet flipped the desk? Like, what happened?
Desk is fine. Yeah.
Is there more to this story than you're telling us right now?
Can you see me?
Yeah. What's up, buddy?
Doing great. Let's keep going.
All right, we're gonna.
Why don't you switch the camera to your webcam or something like that?
I'll think about it. Let's go. Let's roll.
There we go. There he is.
There we
All
go.
Right. The Kickster's back. Well, that was fun.
Hey,
right,
apologies to the Twitter Space people who aren't visually seeing this right now.
You can subscribe on YouTube.
His camera fell onto the floor, and we don't know what actually happened to him. He was gone
it's the
for a
table's
moment.
fault. It's not really stable. There's not like a good. Pio bought me this like 3-foot extender, like Amazon clamp setup. Very top heavy. So I'm still adjusting to it with my my $25 Walmart desk that I'm using. So you just got to bear with me. A couple more weeks, it should be all locked in. But I mean, the quality was great. While
it's only been like 7 months so far, so I feel like we got to be getting close.
Definitely in one of the slower learning categories for me. I think I learned really quick. This one's taken a little longer. But yeah, anyways, back to the blue chips. I do feel that unless the market overall macro market's really going to crap, I do feel like there's some opportunity and value in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some things may be mispriced to the low side, like potentially Clone X. I think Moonbirds is pretty fairly valued. But like maybe Clone X, who knows, maybe Doodles, but
what Clone X assets?
Hey, Pio, that's not a blue chip, by the way. I'm looking for a potato chip.
I would buy a Yeah, like the actual Clone X's. Maybe the capsules. Our boy Quadzilla in the house likes the capsules, and he actually put me on the Clone X play. I had been like sort of thinking that there's got to be some mispriced or underpriced blue chip assets, and then he mentioned in a chat that we're in about Clone X being potentially like pretty undervalued, and I definitely think that there's a potential for that. One of the tough things when an ecosystem has a lot, like so Clone X has the monolith,
the dunks, the monolith,
the capsule, the dunks, and the Clone X, you kind of have to like be worried that like some of those things aren't going to get exposure to like what's coming next, right? Because they can't really like give it away to everyone. But I think when you think about that, that's why people put a premium on Bored Apes. That's why people put a premium on the Clone X. Like the OG collection should
reign
almost
supreme.
always, and almost always receive like whatever value is coming into the ecosystem. So I like that buy. I got to do more research in the mid chip area, but I have to think that in the mid chip area, there's some severely mispriced assets that could potentially be like breakout candidates in the next cycle. Finding that is very, very hard. I mean, I know we talk 10 KTF all the time, right? So
10 KTF.
There's no need to talk about that, but like things like that. Like, I was in, God, I'm blanking on their name. Cyber something.
Cyber brokers.
Like, is that potentially mispriced to the low side? Is Forgotten Wizards are in Colt, fundamentally mispriced to the low side? I got to do like a little bit of like a score, where I can do analysis where it's like, okay, how good's the team? How good's the roadmap? How good's like the product market fit? But there's got to be some mid chips that are like underpriced by a factor of 10x in the next cycle. They'll 10x, you know what I mean? And those are the ones that you really want. Like, because, if Bored Ape 2 or 3x's, there's going to be multiple assets that are going to 10 to 20x.
Same thing as the crypto market. Same thing.
Exactly. Same thing as the crypto market. And that's where you want to like, park your money if you're looking for like a high return.
Nick, any thoughts on that?
No, zero.
Oh, okay.
I agree.
What do you want to talk about, Nick?
Look at the disappointment in the MACD guy over here.
Unbelievable.
What are you doing, Nick? Putting your beak against the mic?
I don't
Franelation says Cool Cats 4 to 40 next run. I don't
Oh.
mind that one. I don't mind that one because I think that they have a lot in the treasury.
You got to put that mic near your mouth.
I think that they have a lot in the treasury. Have built out a pretty good team.
Cooltopia was a big hit.
Cult favorite. You know what I mean? Definitely, I like that. I like that play for Franelations. It's because you want the ones that are slept on. If it's not slept on, then it's not mispriced, right? So like Cool Cats definitely could fit in the category of being slept on.
What do you think, Nick? Cool Cats.
I've been thinking about them, to be honest. They've
Really?
been on my mind. Yeah, they've been on my mind.
That's big.
Oh, your boy Nick about to deploy.
Our boy Bert says if you're looking for some things sub 2 ETH, Huxley, Aku, which I'm assuming Aku Tars, and Renga. Bert is very, very good at finding hidden mispriced gems. So I would definitely take everything that he suggests with some value. Someone said Chimpers at 2 ETH, potential good one. There's definitely opportunity out there where, just to take us back to Nifty Gateway, you get a X copy for $1,000 and it's worth what? It's worth $6,000 in a bear market. It's $6,000 in the bear market of the next cycle. If you bought in the bear market of the previous cycle, you've done a 6x in USDC in the next bear market. Like, that is wild in terms of price appreciation. But then also it's risky, right? Because you can hit some duds, right? You can just hit some, like Mad Dog Jones. Have those really appreciated in the second art cycle? I haven't done my research, but
no, because the Nifty Gateway artists, they haven't hit the same as, for example, the art blocks collections, like the generative art collections, the Damien Hirst collection. Honestly, Nifty Gateway's just kind of fallen out of favor in a big way. You saw the fuck render, fuck avatars drop really fall flat. I mean, I had been holding Essence for a really long time, down over 90% of it. Absolutely wrecked, absolutely cooked on that trade, like bodied. there wasn't even a sale on the collection the other day. There wasn't even liquidity. So you're seeing a migration. I don't even know what the ferocious pieces are selling for. And I have to imagine that Beeple is doing okay, but I don't know what the state of affairs is there compared to where they were at before. The fine art pieces that are being favored are art blocks
1.6
curated.
ETH on FIWO.
Yeah, so you'd want to think, okay, if you're trying to evaluate projects and people in the chat, I would love you to chime in on like your rankings or some of the things that you're looking for. So like, one, you're looking for the team, right? That's going to be very important. Two, you're going to look at their funds, so how much do they have in the treasury? How much cash do they have? And then three, probably like the product in an extension of that would be like the product market fit potential, like which ones have, big upside potential. No one talked about NFT worlds potentially. That's down 80-90%. That could be an interesting play potentially.
Would you buy? So what would you buy? Sandbox, Decentraland. How do you rank Sandbox, Decentraland, and NFT worlds as far as metaverse plays that aren't called Otherdeed? What do you rank those three?
I think that I would go. Like if it's just like a like more of like a expected value of being like the better play. I think NFT World has a lot of volatility potential, right? So it has the potential to just be a complete dud, but a potential to be a banging success, right? Versus Sandbox at these prices, maybe a little bit more like less upside, but less downside and maybe a higher expected value. So I'd probably rank Sandbox 1, NFT Worlds 2. I'd rank Decentraland 3 simply because I don't think Decentraland, I think, has struggled to like really like go big because the name is like Decentraland, and I think the team like is it operated by a DAO? Like I don't think it's like a single like a aggressive
leader,
team with
a
a
CEO.
CEO that's like let's go after it. They have Ice Poker on there, but that's just about it. So I think I'd probably rank them like 1, 2, 3 with the notation that NFT Worlds has a potential much higher upside, and I just love the developer behind it. I think he's very smart, and I think that he'll keep building in the bear market. And if they can kind of connect all of the dots and create this powerful ecosystem, like in the next bowl, they could make a big run.
You know what team I actually think may end up dropping a bunch of things, sort of like in a consolidated period of time.
Tell me.
What do you think?
I got an idea.
I feel like we didn't mention them.
I feel like it's this deadly squad on stage right now.
When's that profile pic coming?
I'm not giving some dates. Actually, it may not end up being what we discussed. Primarily,
bullshit.
Unfortunately, not. But it still may be.
It's going to be a workout ebook. Let's be real.
It may or may not be the thing we discussed. But
what do you like? Well, you're running through legal, and they're like, there's some legal implications.
What? No, that's not the issue.
You asked some other people and they negged it, and so now you're a little self-conscious about the idea to begin with. Which one?
No, Manny just.
We're not having an internal team meeting here.
Manny just asked if we're going to drop a Solana NFT. That's a pass, and I just let him know right away. We're dropping a pass on Cardano. So all you Cardano NFT people, that's the next roadmap.
Begging us for a Cardano NFT, and we're really pumped to be offering that. Here's the thing I'll say about Nifty
Portal. What you will understand about it is we've shown through the last 7 months that we care a lot about not diluting supply. And that's just something that we're going to be consistent with, We'll take that to the bank and we'll cash it.
I'm taking that to the grave, man. Nick's taking it to the gym, and he's going to literally load up his barbells with it and just start tossing them around. Nick, anything you want to talk about? Look, you named this. You wanted to call this the fall of our show. How's our show falling? What do you want to talk about right now before we wrap?
Oh, I just thought it would be funny to put that as a title. I don't think that it's actually fully dead, but I just think that that's sort of like where it's headed. So all the haters are like telling me that, and they're saying, wait for their.
What are they saying to?
They're
saying
people
just like DM you, and they're like, you suck. You're gonna fall on your bike the next time you ride it, and your company's not gonna make it. Like,
yeah, they say wait until you fall from grace, and I said.
Well, that's actually a compliment because that means that they think you're currently in grace, which is close to godliness.
Pretty good.
There we go. I'm up near God.
I like it.
And my camera did in fact fall on this show, so that could be a black omen, to be honest with you.
We want more.
That's it.
More.
No, we're good.
Give us like some sort of Broadway-esque performance on our way out. Anything
Well, like a little
you-
freestyle, like the NFT markets are going down, but
give
I
us a
want to
quick-
know
give us
what's
a quick
coming
dance
around.
routine.
If you want to know if it goes up or down, you better listen to
Okay,
Maren because she got the crown. Oh, NFTs.
Well, sorry, I
going
want to
down the
apologize
hole.
to everyone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. Make sure you sign up with our sponsor, FTX. Sign up at thenifty.com/FTX or with the code TheNifty on your FTX mobile app. If you're listening on Twitter Spaces, we are simulcasting our YouTube shows to Twitter Spaces right now. In the future, I think it's going to be on the Nifty portal account, so look out for that.
Bottom Boom says, NFT Nick, who's the worst NFT Twitter
I
influencer
love
in
it,
your
dude.
opinion?
What's a little controversy? Let's go.
Let
Dude.
me shout that person out real quick.
Nick, call someone out on the way out. Let's start some beef.
No, we're good.
All right, no beef today, ladies and gentlemen.
Pixel Vault.
YouTube folks, hope you enjoy Pixelball. YouTube folks, hope you enjoyed watching the show. Hit the like, smash the subscribe button. Twitter Spaces fam, thanks for listening to the audio version. And if you guys want to catch up on all of our content later, everything gets uploaded as an audio podcast wherever you get your podcasts: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts,
Google that
Spotify, all that shit.
I
We will
may
catch-
potentially need a new camera too. So if you could buy some nifty portals, because I'm gonna have to ask my boss, depending on what the damage is over there. It looked fine, right? It was
I
reporting.
think you have a carpet, so yeah, it was still functioning. You're good to
Good.
go. You just
Okay.
need to get a tripod rather than attach it to some stupid bullshit because you don't take your.
I'm
job
dealing with
seriously.
the equipment I got. I'm dealing with the equipment that was delivered to me by my company. Okay.
All right. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.